Hey there guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Odin, and today I wanted to give you guys my 24-hour review of the brand new MMORPG game called TarisLand. This game is a cross-platform game. You can play it on your PC client on the same account and be able to log in into your favorite Android or iOS device and take it on the go with you. So that is a huge bonus for some of you guys that may be wanting to try out a brand new MMORPG on the mobile version. I am one of those people that just used to play World of Warcraft all the time, and since I can't sit at my desk anymore for prolonged periods of time, as being a dad and everything, I kind of tend to gravitate to a lot of these brand new mobile MMORPG games. And I will say this, that in my opinion, this game is a 5 out of 5 for being a free-to-play game. There's definitely going to be some pay-to-win options inside the game, but I'm going to try to basically refrain myself from spending too much money on it. I may buy like a couple of like battle passes here and there, which I believe is like around like $21 a month. So yeah, that's pretty much where I'll go with the pay to win on this game. But I think that because it is free to play, I think that it does have some value. I mean, there's definitely going to be a lot of hours and a lot of content that you guys can play in the game. So without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and give you guys a quick little rundown. So I have exactly 24 hours of game time played in the game, and so I wanted to just give you guys my first 24-hour opinion of what I think the game is like, and whether or not you guys should be even considering playing this game. Like I said, I'm giving this game a 5 out of 5 for being a free-to-play game. And I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of a rundown here on the classes that you can play. So you have a warrior that can also be a tank and damage. You have a barbarian fighter who can be tank and damage as well. Then, of course, we're, just recently into the game being launched, so we're having some connection issues here. Then we have the paladin who can be a tank and damage as well. And I'll say this much, guys, is that, because there are so many people logging into the game right now, and most people are picking a damage class like the mage, the shadow swordsman, or the ranger, you're going to have long queue times unless you're picking a hybrid class like the tanks and the healers. So back to what I was saying here, you have a mage, and then you also have the paladin. A quick little thing about these two: these are the only the elves are the only race that you can have a male and female character. So if you're looking to change between a male and female, really it's only between the mage and the paladin. Every other class is essentially gender locked. And if you're wondering why, it's because this is an Asia game, and Asian games do like to gender lock specific hero classes. So, this is nothing new to me. I've seen this several times in several other games, but some of you guys that may be joining this game might find that a little confusing or weird, but it is what it is. Take it with a grain of salt. So essentially, if you're looking for a quick little rundown of these classes, priest is every class can be a damage dealer class, including your priest. So that's one thing to consider. The Phantom Necro is both a healer and a damage dealer. The Bard is also a damage dealer and a healer, and these are all ranged classes. So if you're looking for your 3 healers in game, it's going to be the priest, the Phantom Necro, and the Bard. Then the other 3 solid dedicated damage dealers are going to be the ranger, the shadow swordsman, and the mage. And then the priest, obviously, like I said, can be a healer and a damage dealer. But I will say that the priest has definitely been more designed to be a complete healer overall. Like I said, guys, when you are considering your character creation, just be aware that you may have really long queue times unless you pick a hybrid class. So I highly recommend you guys to just play the class in the beginning. You'll have like the little tutorial, and this is where I'm gonna go with this right here. I'm just gonna do a quick little rundown for you guys of making a character and then playing the game and giving you guys my overall opinion of the actual gameplay. So for now, I'm gonna go ahead and actually start off with the Phantom Necro, because it is my favorite class right now. And I will say this, I definitely made a couple of mistakes when I was making the characters. I made a character, like I said, named Odin, and I decided that I didn't want to play a hunter, so I erased the character. And then come to find out a little bit later that after I erased it and I tried to remake the character, I could no longer use the same name. So one thing to know is that Asia characters, or Asia, or specifically this game, for some reason they character lock the names. So after you use that name, it's essentially you can't use it anymore. So let me go ahead and just make a random nickname here, and I'll delete it. And then we're just gonna go ahead and play and show you guys a little bit of the inside gameplay and the storyline. And hopefully the connection issue here goes away. And I'm gonna shut up and let you guys watch this. So this is a very similar game to World of Warcraft, as you guys can see. So there is full 3D functionality. You can control the camera, you can control the arrows, you can kind of set your auto run. And then over here on the bottom right, just like, you know, built for mobile, like I said, this one allows you to basically just have presets where your actions and your action buttons are going to go. But you can zoom in pretty far out, so it's very nice. It's not going to like restrict you to some specific ratio. So in my opinion, for a mobile game, this is actually pretty good. Considering that, you know, even in a lot of new games that are coming out right now for mobile, they won't even let you zoom out that far. So I think that this game actually does give you a pretty good feel when it comes to playing the game. And, you know, I definitely think you guys should just try it. You know, download it, play it for a little bit, see if you really like it, and, you know, give it some time. I'll say this much, you know, I've played it for 24 hours. I have not experienced too much of the pay to win yet. There's definitely a lot of packages that are being sold, but they're mainly cosmetics. You know, they've advertised the game really heavily to be non-pay to win, but I'll tell you guys right now that is not true. There is definitely a pay to win factor in this game, so it's not just tied to the cosmetics. The way that they brush this off is that you're basically buying these crystals, and then you can take those crystals and buy gold. With that gold, you can buy items like gear sets, gear pieces, gems that will boost your attributes to give you a more of a better or advantage. So one thing to note when you guys are playing, that, you know, even though they say this is not a pay to win game, that's a complete false and utter lie. I wish that they would actually, you know, fix that, but really the way that they're pinning it is that, you know, you need gold to buy items directly, and you can't buy gold with money directly. So that's their kind of like go-to for that. So I think it's just the wording and the way that they kind of came off when they first described the game as not being a pay-to-win game. That they're saying it's not pay-to-win because you can't buy gold directly with money, but you know, you're still buying crystals to buy gold. So in a sense, it is still pay-to-win. So but anyways, guys, what I'm showing here right now is just the first introduction scene in which you're just basically fighting this blight dragon, and this is essentially showing you guys the raid mode. So this is a 10-player raid. You guys can look at the icons there on the left. You have 2 priests, you have some bards, you have the Phantom Necro, which I'm playing, you have a tank, and then you have the Shadow Swordsman there, and a ranger as well. So just, you know, take a keynote, guys. Like I said, this is pretty much almost like World of Warcraft on your mobile device. I will say this much as well. It's definitely got a lot of Genshin Impact components to it. I can tell that they used a lot of the same maps and they just kind of reskinned them. You know, which is not like anything new. There's once a mobile game comes out, you know, that that intelligence is not, you know, proprietary. So a lot of gaming companies will actually sell their maps and, you know, their tools and everything. And especially, you know, a game that's built on Unreal Engine. And this is a game that's built on Unreal Engine where the same assets are loaded into other games. So just key note there on this, guys, is that, you know, this is very similar to some of the other games that have been coming out. Like I said, Genshin Impact, for example. But like I said, I do give this game a 5 out of 5. I've been playing it quite a bit, doing the professions, making good use of my vigor, which is essentially kind of like if you're playing Monster Super League, it's your energy bar or your stamina that you or the wings, the energy that you just kind of consumed over and over again. And it's mainly used for materials and for crafting things, but nothing really particularly tied to raids and dungeons. You are limited to progression. I'll say that much as well. You're limited or capped in a lot of things as well, like how much experience you can get in a day, how much you can level up. But I have not ran into too much trouble in my first game experience so far with any of that. I was able to go from level 1 to 20 in my first day without experiencing any issues on a couple of characters. So there it is. So I just wanted to give you guys a quick little introduction to this character, and then or show you guys the first little bit of the game creation and kind of how this goes. And then I'm gonna go ahead and swap out and go to my actual character. For those of you guys that are on mobile, the only way to back out of here is to go over here to this little diamond and then go over to settings and then do the character return on the top right there. So keynote there for you guys. All right, so now I'm going to show you guys my main character and walk around the city so you guys can see some of the actual gameplay. And like I said, this is essentially, the second day that this game has been out. It's been almost 48 hours. So there's definitely going to be some mounts. So for those of you guys that are wondering if there are mounts in the game, there's ground mounts and there are flying mounts, just like World of Warcraft. And as you guys can see, it's pretty much the same quality as World of Warcraft, just on a mobile version. You have full 3D kind of, functionality and open map. The maps themselves are actually pretty large. This is the Ash Cache Canyon. You have Silver Lit. Oh, of course, I'm going to back out of everything. But there is definitely a couple of maps that have been released. There's Misty Forest, there's a World Boss, Silverlit Outskirts, and they are going to be, releasing several more maps as the game expands. So just key note on that for a lot of you guys. This is, again, another free-to-play game that gives you a lot of things that you could do inside for free. The dungeon quality, I'll say, is actually pretty good. I'm going to show you guys a little bit of like kind of the inside of the game itself, but like I said, there's definitely a lot of shops, a lot of this is the Phantom Cosmetic, kind of that you can think about it if you play Diablo Immortal. Basically, it's just you spend money to buy these crystals, real money to buy these crystals, and then you use those crystals to buy keys, and then those keys basically give you a slight chance of rolling into what the pool is for these items. There's like a first top up event that's going on where you get this mount. It's like $3. I think you can basically spend and you can get that mount. But anyways, that's pretty much this cosmetic shop in a nutshell. I don't think I've seen too many content creators post about this, but this shop is extremely expensive. I think this dress right here costs like $30. This right here costs like $24. And then there's weapons. There's all kinds of things. There's mounts that you guys can get. This Reward of Destiny, this thing is super expensive. I think that you need around $450 just to summon enough to pick up this dragon here. In total, to pick up all of the items, it's something around like $1,100. So it's not, like I said, a free-to-play friendly environment when it comes to those skins. But again, it is mainly just for those skins. There is a 7-day goal or event that's going on right now where you complete these 7 days and you can end up getting this lemon mount. And what it is just a little robot. It's a robot mount. That's it. Kind of like the Meccano. I forget the name of the World of Warcraft mount, but it was like a Meccano rider or something like that. But that's basically what that is like. There's definitely going to be quite a bit that you can do for your character. As you guys can see, there's a lot of equipment slots. You can get, you have kind of backpacks, just like World of Warcraft, just like every other game out there. But you basically work on building up your attributes. So definitely look into what your character needs for main attributes. Over here on the top right, you'll see current spec Soul Snatch. That's my current Phantom Necros spec. And you guys will see combo is greater than Omni. Omni is equal cooldown and intelligence, focus, and stamina. Those are your attributes that you want to focus on. So when you're building up your build, you're going to look for combo because combo is right at the top. So that's kind of like the order of your attributes. It tells you which order to build. Then from there, of course, you have all different kinds of other what do you call it, achievements that you can complete. There's a lot of reputation that you need to build up. You build up a reputation by doing quests and outworld events and doing dungeons and things like that. And that's pretty much all there is to it. So it's just like World of Warcraft. You run around, you get a lot of achievements, you pick up gold, and you do all these dungeons and raids to progress your character in a sense. Like I said, there are caps right now on the experience. The max level you could be is going to be 40 until they release the next little pack expansion, which is probably in about 20 days or so. Most of these are going to run like every month. So every month you're going to get a little bit of a level crunch and also a new zone or new area to play. So again, for a free-to-play game, I don't think it's bad at all. So for those of you guys that are just looking for something new to do, maybe you're tired of playing Diablo Immortal, maybe you're tired of playing Monster Super League, maybe you're tired of playing some other game that you're playing, feel free to come over and try out this game, which I do think, like I said, is actually really fun. And I'll probably make a couple more videos with the actual gameplay, give you guys a little bit of the breakdown on crafting and professions and things like that. But I just wanted to give you guys my overall opinion right now after 24 hours of playing this game. And I'll say this much, like I said, that I do give it a 5 out of 5 for the amount of time and effort that I've put into this game so far. I have thoroughly enjoyed it. And I have not spent a single dime on this game yet. So if you guys, I don't know if there's any way for me to show history here, but no, I have not purchased anything. Most of my currencies are still up top. I'm trying to save everything that I get because it is essentially the first couple of hours and days of this game being released, and I'm not really looking to, purchase anything just yet. So just wanted to go ahead and be very, very upfront about that. There is definitely going to be an inside auction house that you guys can, craft materials, create some professions, and sell items. Depending on what you guys make, you guys can use that to buy gold. And like I mentioned before, you'll need lots and lots of gold to buy equipment and buy gear to kind of progress your character once you start to get to the high-end stages of the game. I went with jewel crafting as a profession. In my opinion, it's probably one of the more friendly ones right now to some of the new players because of the fact that you can kind of easily collect some materials, and it does give you a little bit of an attribute boost when you are playing in PvE modes and dungeons. So just something to note for you guys there. Let's see, anything else I want to come in last time or last before I end this video here. The dungeons are actually really fun. There is a speech mode, so if you wanted to communicate with other players inside the game, you can definitely do so. So just, keep note for you guys out there. There's definitely a lot of social interaction. The world chat right now is absolutely insane because of the amount of players that are playing the game. Yeah, definitely really easy to find some dungeons if you're a healer or a tank right now. So again, for those of you guys that are looking to play the game, consider playing a hybrid class in the beginning just to test it out. And then once you get comfortable, once things die down a little bit, definitely go for that damage dealing class, because the majority of people right now are playing those damage dealing classes. And it is a common thing with a lot of these games, and I feel like that's kind of one of the reasons why they made so many healers and so many tanks and just very limited damage classes. And I will say this though, the damage dealer specializations, talent specializations are pretty good. So like if you decide you want to play a tank, you can easily swap to damage, and you're not going to need to redo your gear too much. So you'll actually be able to use the same gear. So in a sense, there's no drawback from playing a hybrid class. So for those of you guys that are wondering about that, you know, there's not too much drawback to that. You'll just have to kind of work on your attributes and your gems. But anyways, guys, that's it for this video. I didn't want to make it too long. Like I said, I am giving this game a 5 out of 5. There's definitely a lot to do in here. For a free-to-play game, it's definitely worth your time. And heck, by, you know, the worst that you get out of this is that you don't like the game and you want to basically stop and uninstall, and that's okay as well. So that's my review for today, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel if you are new. Like I said, I'll be posting quite a few different videos playing each one of the classes and showing you guys some tips and tricks here and there on some of the professions and ways that you guys can kind of improve your character to complete those harder end raids. There's definitely going to be some world tournaments, you know, competing to complete raids, just similar to World of Warcraft, etc. So just something for you guys to consider there, that there's definitely going to be a lot of events to do. And like I said, despite the fact that there's definitely a lot of pay-to-win aspects when it comes to the cosmetics, it's actually not that bad playing, you know, with your character. I think that, you know, really only the whales are going to be going for some of those higher end items to be able to complete those raid bosses that are kind of more at the competition level. But for the everyday average Joe, just like you and me, or you're a dad, or, you know, a mom that just wants to, you know, downtime and play something on the go because you can't play World of Warcraft, you know, from your mobile device, I say it's a pretty good replacement for now. So consider giving it a try. But that's it for this video, guys. I'll see you all on the next one. Take it easy.